Hello and welcome to Inside Cal Football presented by Dosanjh Family Auto Group. I'm your host, Justin Allegri. The Bears fall to Virginia last week, and now they'll head back on the road against Louisville. We'll talk about both those games with Travers Family head football coach Justin Wilcox, and we'll hear from wide receiver Jacob DeJesus. But first, let's go back to the highlights against Virginia.
Honor your name and the team by how well you do your job. How many ever times you're in there, you do your job, and when it hits the fan, honor your name and the team by how you fight back.
Yes, sir.
How you fight back. You got me?
Yes, sir.
Team on 3, 1, 2, 3.
From California Memorial Stadium, it's a beautiful November afternoon. The Bears taking on the 15th ranked Virginia Cavaliers in ACC play here from Berkeley. Now they have a single tight end off the left side, another handoff to Taylor off the left edge this time. Good job from Drew Polidor to fill the gap, take him down for a loss of 1, back to the 42. 3rd down and 6 here from the 25. A handoff, sweeping to his left, cutting inside the numbers as Taylor springs free through a hole, straight up the middle, and he's into the end zone for the touchdown. 25-yard run. And just like that, it's a 7-0 start for the Cavaliers. 8 plays, 75 yards. Out of the pistol to start off this sequence with Whaley off the left side. And Whaley runs into TJ Bowlers for no gain. Taylor jogs to the right side of Morris. Tight end off the right, sweeping handoff over to the left side. There's the King Salmon coming up to make the tackle. Right on the numbers, it's a loss of 1, back to the 7. He has missed from this range, though. The kick from left to right, line drive kick, but it whistles its way through. And they're 2 for 2 on their drives in this game, putting points on the board. It's 10-0 Cavaliers. Basha in motion. JKS takes the snap, fakes it to Raphael. Deep drop, shuffles around to his right, checks it down to Raphael at the 40. Spin move, stays on his feet to the 35-yard line. Takes on 2 defenders, brings him for a ride down to the 31. JKS now takes the snap, looks to throw, steps up over the middle, slings it in, making the catch. Falling over at the 3-yard line, it's Jordan King. The mailman delivers. It's a 1st and goal. 2 tight ends in the backfield. Here's a direct snap to Raphael. Raphael up the middle. Raphael trying to reach for the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, California. Kendrick Raphael, that's 5 straight games with at least 1 score. 14 plays, 75 yards, taking 7:21 off the clock. Now a fake of a handoff, twirling around to throw. Morris steps up into the pocket, goes down. Bowlers and Jaden Wayne get to him. It's a loss of 5, back to the 31. Cavaliers already with 164 yards of total offense. 44 on the ground. Toss play now. Making the grab and running over his left side. He is hit. Aaron Hampton again making the tackle on Jamari Taylor.
This is my, first game that I've gotten multiple reps, and, it just helped prove to myself that, I belong here and I can play here.
He's a very tough kid. He competes really hard. He got here a year ago, walked on from Alaska, and really his first extensive action. And Cade is a guy that is obviously there's not a player on our team that's just going to step in and be Cade. But I thought Aaron went in there and competed really hard and played very hard, and he did some good things, and then there's some things that he'll have to get better at.
2 receivers left. Pistol again. Handoff Taylor. Taylor sticks his foot on the ground, cuts to his left, follows the block. He's pushing forward. He's into the end zone for the touchdown. From 5 yards out, Jamari Taylor in for 6, his 2nd touchdown of the game. 13 seconds to play. Morris to throw. He's hit as he throws. He completes at the 31-yard line. Immediately hit as Sage Ennis by Aaron Hampton. Kick will come from right to left. Snap is down, kick is up. Low knuckling kick on its way, and no chance wide left.
And so good final stand there to stop that.
All right, it's the Bears trailing at halftime 17-7.
Well, we got to play team defense, and today it's 3rd downs. We have to get off the field on 3rd downs. We didn't get off the field on 3rd on defense, which resulted in a really uneven number of plays they ran on offense versus our offense.
Defense, it's all 3rd downs. Get us off the field on 3rd downs, and we're going to need a special teams play somehow, somewhere. Let's go finish now. Right here, finish. Finish. Go 3, 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
very good at protecting and not having the turnovers. Morris the handoff again, running left side this time is Whaley. Whaley is strung out. Missed the first man, but then everybody else gets into the party. Stopped at the 7-yard line, no gain. On 3rd and 7, shotgun snap, Morris to throw, backpedaling into his own end zone, checks it down to Taylor in some space. Aaron Hampton, Luke Farrelly making the stop at the 10-yard line. And the desperately needed stop comes from the Cal defense. And here is the punt from right to left. Spiraling kick to Jesus at the 41, makes the catch, runs it to the right side with some space, slips the contact, 45-50, cuts back to his left 45, and is brought down at the 42. Good return from DeJesus, and when you talk about field position, this is the opportunity for the Bears. Now they'll split out Minnie and DeJesus to the left. Morris, the single tight end. Out of the shotgun, JKS takes the snap, swings it out to Minnie. Minnie to throw deep downfield. He's got Raphael wide open at the 15, backpedaling, makes the catch, runs into the end zone. Touchdown, California! One play, 42 yards, and Mason Minnie with his first career passing touchdown.
A high school quarterback, and he comes out and he throws a great ball. Kendrick Raphael, good job of finishing that off.
And just like that, it's back to a 3-point game, 17-14.
That's probably the most nervous I've been for a play in my life. But man, I'm glad it worked out. We've repped it like once or twice since camp, and it was really cool to see it work out. So he threw a dime, so that was cool.
3rd and goal from the 2. Shotgun snap, Morris looking, throws to the flat on the right side. Paco Austin trying to make the tackle on the catch. Wood reaching to the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, Cavaliers. With 1:51 to go in the 3rd quarter, it's back to a 10-point lead for the Cavaliers, 24-14.
Whether we rush for and cover or we pressure, there's going to be stress on the defense somewhere, and the guys that were stressed, we didn't quite get the job done. So we're going to continue to look at 3rd downs on defense. I know we spent a ton of time on that, but we didn't do enough today to get them off the field, and that was the difference in them running, I think, 80 plays to our 57.
Whaley behind Morris in the shotgun. They'll hand off to Whaley again, right side, bounces off the first contact, and then several blue jerseys. Farrelly, Jaden Wayne both get to him, goes as a loss of 3 or 4 yards back to the 10. Waiting to return this punt from their own end zone, nearly blocked, and a horrible kick off the side of the foot of Daniel Sparks goes out of bounds near the 25-yard line. Ball set left hash, Q Adams in motion, JKS to throw, he throws near side, making the catch is Minnie at the 10-yard line, takes on a tackler inside the 5, and he goes out of bounds. E.J. Kaminong actually taking the snap here. Kaminong will hand off to Raphael. Raphael up the middle. He's stopped. Second effort trying to push forward toward the goal line. He's in. Touchdown, California. Second effort from Kendrick Raphael, who was hit in the backfield, kept the play alive, and he scores. Well, this is a gamble, but if it pays off, the game is over. Morris out of the shotgun. They just need 2 yards on 4th and 2. Snap taken. Morris looking to throw, and he throws underneath. It's incomplete. It was batted at the line. TJ Bush was in there, causing problems. Incomplete with 45 seconds left. The Bears will have to try and get downfield and get into field goal range to see if they can get this game into overtime. A touchdown would win it. No timeouts for the Bears. Low snap, dropped for a moment, picked up again from JKS. He'll throw over the middle. It's intercepted at the 35-yard line. They're going to bring it back to the right, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Virginia. Cam Robinson takes it in, and just like that, the game is put away.
The want-to and the effort was there. We missed out on some opportunities. Like I said, on defense, it was 3rd downs. Offense, we had a couple that we didn't quite connect on. Ultimately, against a team like that, you got to make those, and we didn't quite do that. So we have to do a better job, starting with me as coaches, and make sure we're giving our players every opportunity to be successful.
Like as we showed today, we're right there, and it's just a couple plays that we just need to focus on them and hone in on. And these next games are winnable, no doubt. Our team believes it, our coaching staff believes it, they preach it. So, just focus on your job and just play hard.
Cal falls to Virginia 31-21. We'll step aside on Inside Cal Football presented by Dosanjh Family Auto Group. When we return, we'll chat with wide receiver Jacob DeJesus. That's coming up right after this.
You bring your curiosity, your ambition, your spirit to Berkeley to be an AI machine learning, twisting, turning, flipping, video game soundtrack performer. A student of human rights strengthening, sustainable architecting, quantum science pioneers. A member of solar car designing and racing, community-driven student farming, football team rousing communities. You bring your whole self to Berkeley to be a part of the greatest public university.
The Dosanjh Family Auto Group offers an exceptional sales and service experience to our customers. With 11 brands and 20 locations throughout the Bay Area, the Dosanjh Family Auto Group has Bear territory covered. Although we're a large dealer group, we strive to maintain the family-run business atmosphere and culture that started us off more than 20 years ago. Please visit CaliforniaCarOnline.com for more information.
Welcome back on Inside Cal Football presented by Dosanjh Family Auto Group. For senior wide receiver Jacob DeJesus, he's had to prove himself at every stage of his collegiate career, but now he talks about the reason for his success being the help from his family.
Double tight end left. DeJesus is the tailback here as it's a keeper now for JKS. Option to throw. Throws out to DeJesus. Reaches back with a right hand. Reels it in. Turns. Dives. Pile on. Touchdown. California. Acrobatic display from DeJesus.
To be able to spin back, catch that ball, and then get upfield and make the touch was impressive.
Me being able to come in here and step in this role just comes from the coaching and just ultimately like Jaron being a good quarterback and being able to get the ball into my hands and the other receivers' hands.
Here's the snap to JKS, looking downfield, takes the shot to DeJesus, tumbling over, falling, makes the catch at the 43-yard line.
That was an outstanding effort by Jacob DeJesus, fully horizontal, laid out for that ball, and makes the snatch over his head, stops it dead.
Wow.
And secures it before sliding out of bounds. Fantastic play.
The Mountain West to the ACC, just a lot more skillful DBs and even the interior D linemen and things like that. The players have a lot more technique here. It's not really necessarily the size. I mean, we have big players at UNLV and we have big players here, but I think it really is just like the preparation and the technique that goes into the game here. But I mean, I feel like we did a lot of preparation over there too. I was there in Vegas for 2 years. You get into a routine over there, and I get into a routine, and when I came here, and it's like almost like 2 weeks after I was just there. You know what I mean? The turnaround is fast. And so, like, it just felt like really weird, but Cal accepted me with open arms, and all of my teammates and coaches and everything like that. They made it easier for me, you know what I mean? And it's really cool to have a brotherhood like that. All right, 6'3". I've always loved playing ping pong ever since I was young. My dad kind of showed me how to play. Woo! 10-5, 10-5. My dad was like my best friend, you know what I mean? And he's the one that got me started into playing football. And he wasn't much of a football player himself. He kind of ran the streets in Hayward, you know what I mean? And he was a big football fan, even though he didn't really play himself. He was a Raider fan. And so we would watch the Raider games all the time, and he would throw the football around with me. My dad that recently has passed away this past October. If I catch a ball, I'll go like this, hit one of those Steph Currys to the sky, just for my dad, because I know he's with me, watching over me. I know he would have loved to see me play here at Cal.
Mini now motions, blitz coming. Fake the handoff. JKS to throw into the end zone and gliding to his right to make the catch. It's DeJesus, touchdown, California.
Nice job, play action inside, worked the front side. He was looking for Mason Minnie. Minnie wasn't there. That was actually his third read coming back.
he signed me up for football as soon as I could. So I've been playing since I was 6 years old, and he was my biggest fan. And he always, influenced me, tried to tell me, give me tips and stuff, but never pushed me. You know what I mean? Never was that guy that, pushed me to do, do things that I didn't want to do. He seen that I love football, and he did everything that he could to make this dream happen. He would pay for me to go train somewhere, but never push me. You know what I mean? It would be something that I would want to do. He was just always there for me, my biggest supporter, and he was the one that told me to, because I was thinking that football may not be there for me after having a baby. I think, it's time to get a job and be there. He told me to keep playing. He said, I think he had a vision for me. But honestly, I think he just wanted me to have fun. He said, you have your whole life to work, man. You go chase your dream and play football. You know what I mean? Go chase it as long as you can, and work will always be there, when it's over. So, yeah, my dad, man, he was my biggest supporter.
JKS fakes the handoff, throws to DeJesus at the 5, and just into the end zone. Touchdown, California!
I just feel like when it comes to this, it really means something more to me, because I have her back at home, and my fiance over there depending on me, and I want to do good for them, because I want to offer her a good life. You know what I mean? And also at the same time be a good father and also be present for her. You know what I mean? And so that's just the things that I'm trying to balance, is just trying to really be all in on football and focus on football, but then also try to leave football here and try to be 100% there as a father. Mimi and my fiance and my mother as well, they all influence me, you know what I mean, they all push me, motivate me to, do better on the field, you know what I mean. I try to go out there each and every weekend and play for them.
Jacob DeJesus enters this week against Louisville in the top 25 of all-purpose yards in Division I football. We'll step aside on Inside Cal Football, presented by Dosanjh Family Auto Group. We'll talk with Traverse Family head football coach Justin Wilcox about the upcoming game with the Louisville Cardinals right after this.
You bring your curiosity, your ambition, your spirit to Berkeley to be an AI machine learning, twisting, turning, flipping, video game soundtrack performer. A student of human rights strengthening, sustainable architecting, quantum science pioneers. A member of solar car designing and racing, community-driven student farming, football team rousing communities. You bring your whole self to Berkeley to be a part of the greatest public university.
Welcome back to Inside Cal Football, presented by Dosanjh Family Auto Group. We're now joined by Traverse Family head football coach Justin Wilcox. Coach, I guess just initial thoughts on this Virginia game.
Yeah, I thought the guys battled really hard. I thought our team played with great effort and stayed in it to the end. We just couldn't capture the momentum when we built some. We fought back from being down. We started slow, but fought back in it. And in the middle of the game, the offense and defense from special teams working well together. And then got it to within 3 a couple times. And, I think the big story at the end of the game was they ran 80 plays, we ran 57. That means we didn't get off the field enough on third downs on defense, and we did not convert enough on offense. And then obviously being -2 in the turnover margin was big too. So we had our opportunities in every phase of the game and didn't quite get it done.
Yeah, a lot of that too, I think, was just the run defense against Cal. You couldn't really get traction in the ground game. What were they doing so effectively?
Yeah, I mean, we lost some blocks up front pretty quickly, and we had some decent runs, but we actually ran it about half the time. We just didn't have enough plays. I mean, I think we had 24, 25 attempts in 57 plays, so just under half, but what we got to do is stay on the field more, and that way you can get that run game going, but you got to convert third downs, and defensively you got to get off the field so you can get the offensive ball back.
Well, it was tough to lose Cade there early on too, and I thought Aaron Hampton came up in a big way. Got a lot of tackles there from him in a role that he probably wasn't expecting to have in that game.
Yeah, Aaron did a nice job stepping in. I mean, nobody on our team is going to step in and do what Cade does.
Sure.
But Aaron did a really good job stepping in. He played very hard. He was productive. He had 15 tackles on the day. Him, Aiden Keon-Aina, who had 10 tackles at nose guard, which is unheard of, and Paco Austin defended the ball very, very well. He had, I think, 6 pass breakups, which were great. Unfortunately, we had one late in the game where we didn't quite get the zone check for him, but there's some guys that had production. We just didn't make the key plays when we needed to.
And talk a little more about Aiden too, because we were mentioning on the broadcast, oftentimes that position, you don't really see the stats come up because if a guy's doing his job, he's just filling the gap. This one, in particular, he was doing both. He was getting the tackles and he was doing his job up front.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Aiden played a very, very good game. He's played really good football for us throughout the year. Aiden's a really consistent performer. He's a really good player. And again, they ran the ball, I think, 44 times to our 25 or whatever it was. And so there's more opportunities in there. He made 10 tackles, and one of them was on punt, which was a great effort. I thought that he just showed up. I mean, he played with phenomenal effort. He played really tough, and really appreciate what he brings.
You mentioned getting close and getting over that hump. You got to 3 points several times. What did you think needed to happen to get over the hump?
Well, it's complimentary. We got to get off the field on one more of those third downs. The offense has got to, we're really close a couple times to hitting a big play. We need to stay attached up front, blocking, and give Jaron another count so we can get the ball off. Special teams making one more big play. I think it's just complimentary football, and we had our opportunities, and that's a good team. They're ranked high for a reason, but we had plenty of opportunities to go win that game, and we didn't get it done. So ultimately, that falls on me, and we got to get more out of our players.
Before we talk about Louisville here, we just had a piece on the show about Jacob DeJesus, and I know you've talked about him before, but so impactful for this team, the way he's played at the wide receiver position, the kick return game. Just talk about him in general and what he's meant to the team.
We ask a lot of him. I mean, we do. We ask him to do a number of things: return kicks, return punts. We put him out at receiver. We put him in the slot. We put him in the backfield and in motion. He doesn't really come off the field. Yeah. He is a extremely competitive guy. He's as tough as anybody. He's not the tallest guy. He's kind of worked and earned everything he's ever gotten. And he's as well respected as anybody on the team.
Did you expect to use him as much as you have this year?
We knew he was a good player. And right now, I mean, he is a guy on our offense. If we get him the ball, he can make something happen after the catch, and we need that. And so I think the coaches are doing a good job of moving him around and trying to get him the ball in different ways and not just lining him up at one spot so the defense can kind of key in on him. But he's done a heck of a job and really impressed with not only his play but who he is as a person.
All right, let's talk about Louisville this week on the road for the Bears. I think the first thing that jumps off the page about them is their defense. It's been the best in the ACC so far this year. Yeah,
really, really physically talented. I mean, the corners can cover. Their front seven is very, very physical. The 2 edge rushers are a handful. They've been a handful for everybody. They're really aggressive because they feel good about their winning one-on-ones up front, and they feel good about the coverage and man-to-man. But they do a really good job.
Feels like the way that they approach that front defense, it allows their secondary to generate a lot of turnovers and take some gambles to get those turnovers.
Yeah, absolutely. The defensive back's best friend is a great pass rush, and so those guys are getting the ball out early, and the DBs and the back end guys are making plays on them.
Miller Moss, their quarterback, a transfer from USC. Talk about him a little bit.
Known Miller since he was in high school. We recruited Miller. He's a very good football player. He's experienced. He's seen everything. He knows how to play the position, and he's got a ton of banked reps in college. So, really good football player. They got 2 really good receivers. The running backs are elite, and the O-line's probably the best we've seen.
All right, Bears on the road against the Louisville Cardinals this weekend, Saturday, ESPN2 and 8:10 a.m. at 4 o'clock. That's Traverse Family Head Football Coach Justin Wilcox. Coach, thank you.
Thank you.
That does it for this week's episode of Inside Cal Football presented by Dosanjh Family Auto Group. We'll talk to you next time. So long for now.
You bring your curiosity, your ambition, your spirit to Berkeley to be an AI machine learning, twisting, turning, flipping, video game soundtrack performer. A student of human rights strengthening, sustainable architecting, quantum science pioneers. A member of solar car designing and racing, community-driven student farming, football team rousing communities. You bring your whole self to Berkeley to be a part of the greatest public university.